Right. Sorry, haven't been on for quite a long while. We had my mother was very ill, then died. So basically, now coronavirus 11 is taking two stories here. One, what's going on, and the other one is how my mother died indirectly of coronavirus. Now, they don't show you that. But if you think about all the people who died indirectly of it, i.e. who didn't go to the doctor, think of all the ones who were actually alive because they didn't go somewhere. So, you know, it's a bit of an even balance, really. Anyway, in my mother's case, she got a cancerous patch on her leg, and we went to she had one on her lip and one on her leg. The one on her lip they scraped off in a sort of day procedure, and the other one they said, yes, you've got to have a cream for it, which you must put on until the cream finishes. So we did that, and it was going down nicely. Then coronavirus hit, and about a month into that, mother was complaining about pains across her stomach here. So we rang the doctor, and we waited and waited because we thought the coronavirus thing might end, which was a mistake. Then we rang the doctor, and the doctor said, oh, that's probably constipation. So he sent constipation tablets. So they did what they're supposed to do, but without any problems. And mother wasn't eating or drinking much either. She didn't feel hungry. So next thing you know, we've rung again. That didn't work, sort of thing. And he sent antacid tablets. So she ate all those and carried on with Rennies, which seemed to help. They seemed to get over the pain, but there's a reason for that later. And then one day she was going bonkers anyway. She used to go on a Thursday. A chap used to come with a bus, pick up all the old ladies, and they would all go down to the centre in Cardigan. This is from our house in Wales. And basically she got up one day and suddenly thought, yeah, I've got to wait for the bus. The fact that it was a Friday, Saturday, she goes on a Friday. The fact it was a Saturday didn't seem to matter. She had lost all ability to tell the time by this time as well. She used to go to bed at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and get up at 4:30 thinking it was 4:30 in the morning. So, you know, she's on the way out anyway, but we didn't expect her to go this soon. So next thing you know, she's waiting for a bus outside. We were all asleep. It was early in the morning, and it started raining. So she left her handbag outside and came in, and then fell through the door and fell down her 2 steps. So by the time I woke up and found her, she was upside down on the 2 steps. So I called the ambulance. She said, don't move me, because she was a nurse once. Don't move me, call the ambulance. I called the ambulance. They took an hour to get here, to get to where I was. And then next thing you know, they've taken her away for a checkup. She was chatty and everything, got in the ambulance, and that was it. 8 days later, she was dead. And I was under the impression she'd had a scan a couple of weeks before, and they said, no, she's completely clear here, but we think we can see something at the top of the scan. So in the hospital they did another scan, and they discovered, I think, cancer of the liver and cancer of the stomach. And the stomach ones, there was a lot of them. And they were sort of filling her stomach, so, which is why she didn't feel hungry and couldn't eat. So basically I I must have visited 3 or 4 times, and each time there was nobody trying to feed her. There was, you know, no sort of these special milkshakes. There was no drips. They basically said, no, we're going to, you know, without actually saying it, they just let her die. And they kept saying, no, this is the best thing, you leave it to us, you know. And the last time I went up there, she could hardly speak to me. She's gasping for air, and I said, where are you in pain? And she just managed to say to me, what that was, I don't know. One of those radios, was it? No. Television? Somebody walking about? What? So, anyway, that was it. And I went home, and they rang me at 1 in the morning saying she had died. So, you know, watch what they decide for your old ones. If they've decided that they're going to let her die, that's what's going to happen. And years ago, when my grandmother was in hospital, my mother said almost the same thing. You know, it's like they're letting the old people, let's get them out of the way. They're costing us money. Everything's money based, remember? Especially the NHS, it's supposed to be pushed. But every time I went up there with the coronavirus thing, there's nobody there. Literally, you know, you could walk. I walked straight in the hospital and walked around and didn't see a single person for ages till I got to our ward. So anyway, next thing you know, she used to carry £200 with her in cash because she used to forget her PIN number. So on the days she used to forget her PIN number at Aldi's or wherever, Tesco, she would pay the cash and we would top that back up. Well, when they gave me the handbag back with a wallet in it and a sheet of paper telling me what was in it, so somebody had looked, it said £35. So watch that too. And she was wearing, my wife says, when she was comforting her on the floor, she had three of her gold chains on. Well, only one came back. So, you know, be very careful. I mean, there are some desperate people around. I think the NHS staff think, well, they probably are, hard done by. So they might be topping up their wages, sort of thing. And I said to the ward matron, you know, what is going on? You know, I think these things are missing. And she said, but 2 people checked the handbags. You know, right, well, if there's only 2 people there and they're both saying, here, if you have that, I'll have some of this. No one's going to say anything, are they? You know. So anyway, that's the end of that. We're in her annex in Wales is chock-a-block with stuff. Some photographs I've never seen before. Original Leonard Pearman paintings, because she was married to him. You know, Leonard Pearman was a wildlife artist, but we've got all the stuff before that. I've got a picture of a battleship, there's a picture of gorillas, a whale, big picture of a whale, and we've got photographs of him standing next to it, press photographs. So we've got all that to sort out as well now. Anyway, coronavirus 11, what's happening? Our kid went to school for the first time today. This is his 2nd year of GCSEs, so he's sort of managed to catch the bus and everything okay. He's wearing a mask. He said that social distancing and that was brilliant, and you know, they're only really meet up in their own group. But 4 or 5 schools that started last week have had to shut because of the virus. And it's where we are, there's hardly any cases, but they seem to be going up. because they let the tourists back into Wales. So, you know, we're on a permanent holiday over there when we're not here. But the basic thing is, you know, I've got a feeling this is going to come back. Now everyone says, oh, no, it doesn't matter. It's you know, the government say, indirectly again, oh, the economy can't take any more battering. It's worth a few deaths just to get our money back going. In other words, the rich were suffering. You know, we were suffering anyway before the recession, so it didn't really matter with commoners. So, yeah, so the shareholders and all that are all, you know, indirectly saying to the government, quick, get us all back on track. Doesn't matter if a few people die. But, you know, so I really don't know what's going on. This BLM thing, I mean, that's, you know, fancy, what a time to pick to start complaining about a criminal who died. You know, don't understand that. There's something else behind that, I'm sure. That wouldn't be an excuse for anybody. So they must have been, you know, what I think it is the various black rights groups and all that. When I was in the 70s, they were complaining like mad about the same thing, that blacks weren't getting the jobs. I say blacks now because they're using blacks. Before all this started, I would never say that. But anyway, you know, they grew such a big organisation and got what they wanted. I mean, by the 80s, I wasn't even seeing colour, no matter what colour it was. You know, whether Chinese, whatever. In fact, at my school, I might have said this in one of the BLM videos, that we had one black person, and he was looked highly regarded. He was looked upon as a very highly regarded person. There's only one black guy in the school. He didn't get bullied. We all liked to talk to him. So, and then 70s, 90s, 2000s, didn't hear a thing. Suddenly, you know, that they've obviously, what's happened is their work is going down. These big organisations that get all this money from places, they've got the CEO, he's on a fortune. They've got lots of other people who rely on the organisation. They've helped black people and it's gone down and down. And they thought, what can we do to keep the ball rolling, keep the money coming in? I know. Wait for the next black person to be killed, and then we'll go for it. And that's what's happened. You know, you know, if black people were that badly off, they'd go back to Africa. You know, Africa's fantastic. One of my friends went to South Africa and never stepped out of it again. Even though now it's you know, it's all run by black people. And okay, they're killing the white farmers, but you know, that's, you know, that's a bit savage, really. You know. But yeah, the virus, you know, that's got them down there badly, and quite a few other places. It's all coming back, resurging. You know, everyone's thought, well, I'm not staying at home much longer. I'm going to go out. You know, the people cramming onto the beach in Wales. It was just terrific, the amount of people crammed onto the beach. That they were all sort of fed up with sitting at home, I suppose. But you know, they really went for it. And all the pubs, when the pubs opened, everyone went for that. You know, there was pubs that they got 18 cases in one night. One of them was unbelievable. But as you know, as everybody says, all the agencies I talked to over in Wales, we were very lucky in West Wales. Not so much in South Wales, because they've got lots of cities and towns and things, but us in the country, you know, there was 0 and 1. I think now we're up to 4 deaths because of the tourists coming back. But you know, we're just waiting for our school to get a few cases. You know, my daughter won't go back to college. She says not only is it not worth her getting it, 'cause she's quite slender and weak, sort of thing. You know, she's a gamer, so she's going to be white and weak, and yeah, and she doesn't want to bring it back to us, my wife and I. So you know, she's stopped. I'm not even sure whether she's going back. She wants to do YouTube videos like this, but to do with her game. So we'll see about that. We're going to build her a studio in the house, I think. Well, now we've got an annex free. So if anyone knows me and anyone sees this and wants a holiday in Wales, we've got an annex you can come to. So really, that's about it. You know, I'm sort of just waiting for it to all come back, basically. You know, but the global elites have thought, come on, let's get this BLM thing going. Let's get everyone out in the street, kill a few more people. But really, they're killing the people they're paying to go rioting indirectly, because they'll all get it eventually. I mean, they have. A lot of them have got, you know, have already caught it. The reason why they backhand our politicians to let all the people cross the channel, because they've all got coronavirus. You know, they think, oh yeah, well it only affects the old, so if the old are cut out, we're going to save a fortune and get the world population down. You know, obviously it didn't do the job they originally wanted, so there'll be more viruses. You watch. But like I say, 10 years ago, we passed the point of non-sustainability with the world. So we can't survive with the amount of people we've got on the planet at the moment. So believe me, those people who are listening to those scientists and who pay for the research are thinking, what can we do? You know, let's get the weak first and the old, so the virus and the money they'll save in health, because a lot of the people that are dying have got underlying health problems. It's costing the NHS and other places money. So you know they'd all be that would all be helped. Let me just check the time. I don't want to go over 27 minutes because oh, I have. Doesn't matter. I'll cut it into 2 videos. There'll be part 1 and part 2 when it comes. So I'll carry on. Yeah, let's think. Yeah, my friend's restaurant opened. He hasn't had any. He's done the social distancing with the tables. Haven't had any problems. Nobody in the family I know has met anybody with coronavirus yet. My cousin, who had a bone marrow problem, bone marrow cancer, I think, years ago. He's been told to take it easy. So what's he done? He's now running his mate's pub. Very clever. But I'm a bit worried about him, you know, because he only needs one person to come in with it. I just hope he's not serving behind the bar and stuff. He's a very, very social person, and he's in a band and likes live bands. So, and they've got a stage there, so that'll all come up. So there'll be going to be lots of people there, but you know, and I don't know whether I said in one of the other videos, but I think I've already had it. I went to a military show at Stoneleigh at the end of January, and the next week I actually had to go to bed because I felt really ill. First time for a long time, like a flu type symptoms, and I've had a cough ever since. Even this today, I've still got this little cough up little bits all the time, and I had the very rare thing where my hands, just there, that area there and there, was like it was fizzing. And they say, yeah, that's one of the rare symptoms of COVID-19. So, and I haven't been right since. You know, I haven't been totally 100% since then. So, yeah, I did a lot of coughing. We all did. The 2 kids did a lot of coughing too. But it went away, and they didn't feel bad. So we could have all had it. I just don't know. But on the other hand, my mother, me visiting her every day in her annex, I don't know whether she would have got it or not. I think if she had got it, that would have been the end. Because she was already, we didn't know it at the time, but she had cancer. In fact, she died not knowing, because the doctors decided when they found out, by that time she was pretty well sparked out anyway on morphine because of the pain in her stomach, and didn't really ever find out she had cancer except on the leg and obviously the lip, but they were classed as very, very low problem. But we think that one on her leg or her lip spread and caused a big one because it was in a lot of different places, which means it was the secondary. Apparently, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But yeah, we seem to be very, very money based, sending everyone back to work, opening the country too early, and killing people in hospital inadvertently, pretending it's the right thing to do. So there we go. Yeah, I think that's it. So thanks a lot, and I'm not sure whether there's going to be a 12 or not, because there's not much more really. If it gets really bad, I'll do a 12, but otherwise I'm going to concentrate on the other videos. The UFO one, I've got to do a secondary video to each of the first ones, because they were like covering everything really quickly as I thought of it. But the second video has got to be me writing it down in much greater detail. So that might be worth watching. And that basically shows you how everyone else runs their planets. So, yeah. But we'll never get to that because the people with the money will just never allow it. Like I said in the introduction one, they lost my report and all the papers for the UFO sighting. So basically that's another story, but it's worth looking at anyway. Right, thank you very much, and we've got 20, I don't know what that is. Anyway, thanks a lot.